Hey there, it's John from Heroes and Legends, and this is the official 10,000 subscribers celebration where we're going to open a box of Hour of Devastation, and I'm going to answer your questions that you posed when we did the thank you video about a week ago or so, a little over a week ago. So I got a bunch of questions to go through. I'm going to go kind of slow through this box opening as I answer questions. So just a word of warning for those of you who are here mostly for the box opening. This one's going to be a little slow. I will open another box later this week, which I'll do in a very fast format fashion. But today's all about just being casual, talking about what's going on in Magic, answering your questions. And I also have some packs of Amonkhet. I might open these first. Want to open these first? Yeah, let's open some packs. So I'm going to get right into the questions because we'll try to move along. I got a lot of them. The first one comes from Dawson Graham. What is your main job? He's actually got two questions. My main job, so aside from, of course, these videos that I make, which really isn't my job, this is truly a hobby. The way I actually make money and survive is I'm a freelance writer. So I write mostly based on the knowledge I have from my former industry that I worked with, which was entertainment and business management. So I write articles for like websites, blogs, stuff like that on that topic. We got Devoted Cropmate, Gate to the Afterlife, Seraph of the Suns, and we start off with a mythic. Not bad. Angel of Sanctions. And we got ourselves a foil. It's a foil rare, Drakehaven. So that's actually pretty sweet. All right, good pack of Amonkhet there. Nice. So yeah, so different websites are just looking for content. I'll provide that content for them, and like any freelance job, I mean, you kind of find your work. But once if you're giving good stuff, then for the most part, people are apt to come back and ask for more from you if you're easy to work with and you hit your deadlines and stuff. So that's what I do. I also write some like technical stuff, like technical journals, which would be like training guides and stuff like that for like equipment or machinery sometimes. Hazarat's Monument, Destined to Lead, Angler Drake, a rare, another mythic. How about that? As foretold. Wow, this is fine packs here of Amonkhet. Two mythics. So we're off to a great start. And yeah, so I guess that answers that, I think. Do you think the growth of online Magic is hurting paper Magic? I don't think so. I think that because Magic Online is not really a great tool, I think the people that use it are more or less forced to use it. Like in my example, I play Magic Online times when I can't play paper Magic. And it's fine, but I rather play paper Magic. I don't think there's a good substitute for that. Now, I think there'll always be a core group of people that play paper Magic because they enjoy the interaction, the actual personal interaction. I do think if they can develop a better Magic Online, which eventually I think they will, then I think you'll see more people playing it, but I don't think it will necessarily mean paper ever goes away. I think it will be lessened over time, but I think that's just the nature of where we're at when it comes to kind of paper imprint of things is kind of just going away in general, right? Paper print, like print media and stuff is less and less, more of it's online. But I again think there's always going to be a core group of people playing paper Magic, even if it's less than it is right now. By Force, Weaver of Currents, Lay Bare the Heart, our rare is a Curator of Mysteries. Nice rare too. All right, last pack of Amonkhet before we get to the main event. All right, Klex Yoshi asks, what would be your ideal MTG single-player video game experience? I like that question, actually. Of course, it sounds like they're working on an MMO for Magic, which makes sense, right? Like, totally. But as far as single-player experience goes, I think I'm going to cheat a little bit and kind of go off the MMO thing. Probably something like Elder Scrolls, like exploring the worlds and being able to go to the different planes and explore various planes with the different creature types and the different like actual characters from those planes, I think would be really awesome. So it has to be an exploration game, I think. So something like an Elder Scrolls / Zelda, like that type of thing, I think would be cool. Labyrinth Guardian, Trial of Strength, Shifet Monitor, it's good uncommon, and a pull from tomorrow. Wow, those are 4 great packs of Amonkhet. All right, so let's get into our Devastation. Next question comes from 22 Freedom 33. Favorite flavor text, favorite art, favorite sets. All right, favorite flavor text. Oh, wow, there's a lot of them I can think of. The first one I remember from when I was like, move this stuff around a little bit so I can get to these cards. One of the ones I remember like early on from when I first started playing Magic was Deflections from Ice Age, if I can remember it. It's up and down, over and through, back around, the joke's on you. That's one of my favorite ones. And it was kind of the first one that was sort of the kind of silly, like, arrogant blue mage sort of quotes. And they did a lot after that. Like, Last Word had the, what, someday someone will best me, but it won't be today, it won't be you. I liked the Jaya ones, too, that were in Ice Age. There was Sizzle had... Of course, you should fight fire with fire, and you should fight everything with fire. Those were probably my favorites when it comes to flavor text. There's a lot more, of course, that I can think of. Supreme Will, Dagger of the Worthy, Liliana's Defeat, and, oh, nice, Earthshaker Kenra. Good card, saw a little play in Standard this first weekend. So happy to see that. All right, favorite art. I think there's a question coming about favorite artists, so I'll try to just think about art in general. I like landscapes, for me. Some of my favorites were the original fetch lands, like from Onslaught. The Onslaught fetch lands I thought were really amazing. One of my favorite probably cycles, or half cycles, I guess, at the time of cards. I like the Zendikar fetches, too. I think put those together as a 10-card cycle. I think they're great. Fervent Paincaster, Angel of the God Pharaoh, Overcome, and we have a Leave to a Chance. Nice. All right. And what was the third part? Their favorite set. My favorite set of all time, probably thematically, is the Dark. And it was one of those sets that, of course, was pretty old and was around when I started playing Magic, or shortly after anyway. I love the Dark, and just the theme of you got to see the evil side of all the colors, like the dark side of everything, even white, I thought was really cool. But cards-wise, there's a few good cards like Blood Moon and stuff, but I would probably say my favorite set, like, to actually play is maybe like Time Spiral, or maybe Ravnica. I liked Return to Ravnica quite a bit too, so there's a few, but Time Spiral maybe my favorite to actually sit down and play with. That block, definitely my favorite. Hope Tender, Riddle Form, Claim to Fame, and, oh, rare is Champion of Wits, which saw a lot of play this weekend at Star City Games Cincinnati. It looked really good on camera, so I opened 2 of those in the Fat Pack they opened last week, so there you go. All right, let's see what the next question is. Let me scroll here. Okay, Super Fast Tortoise asks, do you plan on expanding your content? I think you should do a series on cheap cards that are great for their formats. Legacy, Modern, and Standard, for example. Yes, definitely want to extend my content out a little bit. One of the obstacles is just getting the equipment I need to do some of the things I want to do. So I'm saving up. I actually have a new mic coming this week, so that's awesome. Thank you again, shameless plug, but thank you to the patrons out there and the folks that make purchases on those Amazon links. It really goes a long way. I need to get a camera, though. I think there's another question that revolves around this later, but I really need to get a camera so that I can do maybe some shots of actually myself talking, and also some streaming and stuff I'd like to do in the future. Sunset Pyramid, Dagger of the Worthy, Liliana's Defeat. Our rare is Aronis' Last Stand. A lot of cards going against Aronis right now. His Last Stand. It's a cool card, super powerful, but unfortunately it's a little hard to make work, I think, in this current environment. So yeah, definitely want to extend the content. I like the idea that you have there. I think one of the things that I've been trying to do, and maybe I can evolve this idea a little bit, is if you ever watch the Picks of the Month video, I try to pick out undervalued cards. I've been doing different themes, but I haven't been doing themes based on formats. I've been doing kind of like old sets, new sets, that kind of thing. So yeah, definitely I could probably work on maybe doing some episodes that focus on actual formats in the future. But I do want to continue that series for sure. Accursed Horde, Fervent Paincaster, Sand Strangler, and our rares Abandoned Sarcophagus, and we got ourselves a foil Tenacious Hunter. All right. Next question, Jeremiah Bachman asks, this is a good question. How does one who has no friends who play Magic get to play Magic without needing to go to an LGS? I'm new to the game, but I'm about to hit 4 years old in a few weeks, so So going to a local college, join a club, out of the question. Any tips out there for new players or of slightly advanced age trying to get into a game of paper Magic without spending money at LGSs? That's a fantastic question. I can certainly relate to that. You know, I'm older as well and fall into that age group. Sitting with Striker, Consigned to Oblivion, a Braid, awesome card this past weekend, and Oketra's Last Mercies are rare. So, a couple things that helped me in the past. Actually, the thing that helped me the most was just going to LGSs and meeting people there. Now, I know that just depends on your LGS and what events you go to and stuff. I find pre-releases are good because there's a lot of people there. And it's tough because when you're a little bit older, like, do you have things in common? Even with people college age, you might not have a lot in common, so, you know, that doesn't work out. But you find people who you have commonalities with, really, you know, whatever, wherever they come from, and hopefully they're close enough to you that you can start to play more regularly. This actually happened to me a number of times. We have Crook of Condemnation, Banewhip Punisher, Tenacious Hunter, our rares, and Nimble Obstructionist. I really like that card. I think it's going to do some good things eventually in Standard. So yeah, I met people I went to a pre-release one time, for example, played against a guy who's there with 2 other friends and found out they live like basically right down the street from me. And we started playing Commander like every week or 2 weeks or so, playing casually. And yeah, I mean, that was awesome. It was a little bit lucky probably that I ran into them, but that's kind of how it happens sometimes. I have friends that I still stay in touch with, still friends with, who I met playing at game stores when I first started playing Magic. So I think that's really the key, honestly. Appeal to Authority, Sifter Worm, Shafet Dunes, Driven to a Despair is our rare. I think that's the key to it, quite honestly, is just trying to put yourself in a situation where eventually you're going to get lucky and meet the right people that you can play with, and play with regularly that happen to live near you. Now, there's other options out there if game stores aren't a great option. Unfortunately, the other options I don't think are all that good, but again, you could get lucky. There are some apps out there that try to connect players, and I always get offers to try to do sponsor videos and stuff. Typically, I turn them down unless I really believe in the community. One place I did do a sponsor video for was the Mino app, and there's a lot of people on there that do have they have a chat and message type situation there where you can leave messages and stuff for people. If you can find anyone in your local area, Mino's a good place to look. There's others out there that I'm not as familiar with. I think the problem with a lot of the apps though is they don't always have a lot of people on them, and of course that's going to be an issue. Resolute Survivor, Heshep or Oasis, Desert's Hold, and oh, we got our first mythic for this box, and it's Majestic Miriarch. Awesome card too, by the way. Maybe it's a casual card, but it's awesome. So yeah, I would start there. I mean, other things you could do, I mean, even message boards like Reddit. I do see people sometimes posting there for pickup games in certain areas. You could look there. Again, probably hit or miss, and it's hard because the Magic community, it's big, but it's not as big as maybe some other gaming communities. Like you start getting into like video gaming and stuff. Bloodwater Entity, Nissa's Defeat, Overcome, and another Earthshaker Kenra. That's not a bad one to get 2 rares out of, actually. Pretty cool. Yeah, so I hope that helps a little bit. I know there's not an easy answer to that question, and I know that a lot of it's going to be dependent on your local area and stuff, and how good your LGSs are and how many people go there. But LGSs for me really were probably where I met the most people that I actually played with again later. Imaginary Threats, Riddle Form, Consigned to Oblivion. Hey, there we go. Nicol Bolas, God Pharaoh, the key card of the set, around $20. So much more valuable than many of the other cards in the set. It looks super sweet too. I love these Planeswalkers with the 4 abilities. They look awesome. So nice pull. Fantastic. This turned out to be a very good day for polls, for sure, for our purposes, for both Amonkhet and Hour of Devastation. So it's awesome. All right. Next question comes to us from Miratees Studios. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Favorite tribal and why? Slivers. I love slivers. I used to play them a lot, just even competitively. I used to play Legacy Slivers, Hope Tender, Hypnu Rivulet, Vile Manifestation, and an Endless Sands. Cool looking card. So yeah, I used to play Slivers in Legacy. Unfortunately, Merfolk kind of out-sliver Slivers now. Basically, Merfolk does what Slivers used to do, but it's easier to cast them because you don't have to worry about as many crazy color requirements. So I like Merfolk too. They'd probably be my second favorite, but I still like playing like Commander, especially Commander Slivers and stuff, like Sliver Queen as your Commander. I always thought those decks were pretty sweet. So, yeah. Cursed Horde, Unraveling Mummy, Reminep Ruins, and our rares of Fraying Sanity. It's been going up. People are trying to make this work. I've seen people trying to brew for both Standard and Modern with this. We'll have to see if they pan out. It's a cool card, though, definitely. All right, next question comes to us from Damon Stover. On a scale from 1 to 10, how much do you like Commander, and what's your favorite Commander? Pretty high. I don't get to play Commander as much as I would like to, but I would say probably like a 9. I mean, the only thing that sometimes is hard about Commander is you don't necessarily know when you're playing with new people, especially like what the expectations are, like how good they want your decks or not good they want your decks to be, and that can be a little awkward at times. But once you get past that and you get to know the group, it's awesome. I love it. And I would rate it very high. Some of my favorite commanders, I mentioned Sliver Queen already, but Zur, which you can be spiky with or not spiky with. Uriel the Mistwalker I've played before. Sign of the Ur-Dragon I like for Dragon Tribal. There's a ton of them, honestly, but maybe those are some of my top ones that just I personally enjoy. Magmaroth, Steward of Solidarity, Ominous Sphinx, and there's a Solemnity. We talked about this card a lot on this channel. So there we go. We got a foil, a striped River Winder too. All right. Next question comes to us from Flippo Loves BMX. Could you pick a deck you enjoy playing and you would register for an event with for each format? Standard, Modern, Vintage, Legacy, and 1v1 Commander if I play that, and why? Well, we'll start with Standard. If I were to play Standard today, in the new Standard, I'd probably go with either Azorius Monument or Red Aggro. I like control decks, but I don't know. The current control decks just haven't caught my attention as much as maybe former ones have in the past. Farm to Markets, Unraveling Mummy, Tenacious Hunter, Apocalypse Demon. They're very good. Like, the decks are great, and they've had good finishes, especially like as a control. But I don't know. I'm happy to see Aggro Red back, and I hope it continues to stick around. I think it's a cool deck, and the Monument deck just seems really fun to me too for some reason. I don't know why that's caught my attention. As far as Modern goes, I do like Tron. That's probably my favorite. Whether it's Eldrazi Tron or regular Tron, I just like there is a Tron lands. Quarry Beetle, Hypnu Rivulet, Reminep Ruins, and we have another mythic. It's Uncage the Menagerie. This is what, our third mythic, right? Not bad, considering we're like halfway through the box or so. All right. Vintage. Well, I wish I had the cards to play Vintage, but but let's say maybe on Magic Online perhaps one day I could play. I think I would probably play Laboratory Maniac, even though it might not be the best deck anymore, like in the current meta. I just think it's a cool deck. Like, I don't know, Workshop decks feel kind of boring to me. I know those are probably the best decks right now, but I'd want to play Laboratory Maniac and try that out. Legacy, I love Painter's Servant. Like, I think that combo is really fun. Again, maybe not the best deck right now in the meta, but it's just a fun deck. 1v1 Commander, I haven't played yet. I would like to play, and hopefully we'll be able to play in the future. I'd probably start with Burrell. It feels like everyone else is. So I'd probably go that route because I want to play with like old crazy blue cards. Doomfall, Banewet Punisher, Burning Fist Minotaur, and a rare is a Bantu's Last Reckoning. Very good card. Another card that saw standard play this weekend. All right. Next question is from Zachary Younger. Boxers, Briefs, or Commando? Boxers. Unless I didn't do laundry, then briefs, I guess. But there you go. That was an easy question. Flavio Mangini actually has a few questions. First one, when did you start playing Magic? I started playing in '94, so shortly after the game started. Not very long after really everything began. I mean, Unlimited I was able to get some unlimited cards. I mean, Alpha Beta Unlimited were really hard to get, even if you played back then. Like, they were real hard. Arabian Nights and Antiquities and Legends as well. Revised in the Dark are really the first sets you could pretty much get your hands on. But, yeah, I started playing during that time period, so it's been a while. Chandra's Defeat, Sunscourge Champion, Eternal of Harsh Truths, and Grind to Dust is our rare. So, next question. What's your favorite Magic card? I have a silly one that I love. I think everybody probably does, but I love Hand of Justice from Fallen Empire. I should have grabbed one. I think I have a copy somewhere. But look it up. It's just a goofy card. You know what? It's good in Commander, though. If you're playing white, like, totally throw it in a Commander deck. You'll be pleasantly surprised. I, like, still play with it there. It's a silly card. It's a white and 5 for 2/6. And the ability is you can tap 3 white creatures and that creature and destroy target creature. And it's something white, especially back then, really didn't have access to, like just flat out destroying things without drawbacks. Really still doesn't have access to. It's a reserve list card, but it's from Fallen Empire, so it's still real cheap. You can get it for like $1 or $2 probably. But it's just a fun card, and the art's amazing. The Hand of Justice kind of sitting on his throne with this amazing mustache. You just got to see it. I can't do it justice, but yeah, that one's my favorite card. We have Crypt of the Eternals, Merciless Eternal, a Vile Manifestation, and our rares, an Hour of Eternity. We have a foil Vizier of the Anointed as well. All right, next question. Your favorite art / artist. I talked about art a little bit, I guess, but I didn't talk about artists in particular. I'd have to say probably Christopher Rush. His art was incredible on all the old cards, like the Lightning Bolt and Black Lotus. And he was the nicest guy. It was sad to hear when he passed away a few months back. And I saw him at a GP, just the nicest guy to everyone, to all the fans that came up. And you just don't see that all the time. From especially artists, a lot of times feel a little disconnected, I think, from what Magic actually is. They understand they're making art for a game, but Christopher Rush just, I think, really appreciated the fans and appreciated the game and everyone around him. So that was sad to lose him. He'd probably be my favorite. There's other good ones too. Mark Poole, I like his stuff. I know I'm going pretty old school. Therese Nielsen, she does new stuff as well as old stuff. Rebecca Guay, really like her lands in the Commander 2016, for example. So there's a number of them I really enjoy. River Hoopo, Dune Diviner, Ifnir Deadlands, and our rares, A Reason to Believe. All right. Most enjoyable modern unbanned. I think probably what card I'd like to see unbanned. I don't know. I don't want to mess up Modern. It's so good right now. But if I thought I could unban one card and not like completely like wreck the format or anything, I would probably say Jace the Mind Sculptor, because I think it's a cool card. I mean, sure, you can still play Legacy and even Vintage with it, but I did get a foil one when I was hoping Eternal Masters like about a year ago or so, and it was a really sweet pull. I'd love to play it in Modern, but overall too, I think it's just, I don't know, the card seems fair in Modern to me, and again, you'd have to test it to be sure, of course, but I feel like at the forecasting cost spot, especially with the answers that are out there now against it, I feel like it would be okay. I don't think it would destroy the format or anything, but again, I don't want to mess with Modern because it's like really, really good right now. Angel of the God Pharaoh, Sinuous Striker, Ominous Sphinx, and our rares, an Hour of Promise. All right, starting to get down there a little bit now. Next question comes from Omar Raw. I think I'm saying that right. Another big supporter of ours. Face reveal is the question. And I guess I kind of already answered that. Yes, definitely. As soon as I can get some better equipment. I just don't want it to look like I'm talking into my cell phone. You know what I mean? Like, I realize my videos aren't perfect. Like, I'm always looking at all the things that bother me about them that I could fix if I had more money. And the thing is, they're getting better and better. I mean, the quality of these videos, pack openings, have come so far since I was able to get lighting and a better camera for these. This camera is good for pack openings, but not really good for like the wide shots, or if I were to do shots where I'm talking. or even for like streaming purposes. So I just need another camera for that, but I'm closing in. I'm almost there, hopefully sooner than later. I do want to start doing more of that type of thing, and I do think it would be nice to be able to kind of talk to y'all face to face, and I think that makes a better connection. Crypt of the Eternals, Rezikat's Right, Inferno Jet. Our rare is a Hostile Desert. All right, we got a creature land. Next one comes from Corey Kalpa. What is your favorite format? It's probably changed a little bit. I'll say in the old days, my favorite format was probably just casual, like cutthroat multiplayer Magic, which sort of evolved into Commander nowadays. Commander probably still one of my favorite formats, although like I said, I don't get to play it as much as I'd like to. You know what I play a lot now that I actually really enjoy is Sealed. Like even more so than Draft, because Sealed's always different. Like you get a card pool and you kind of are forced to deal with what you got there, and it's going to play in different directions. It's very limited as to what you actually can do. Draft, I even find myself sometimes drafting the same decks over and over again, like whether I want to or not. It's kind of like, well, I don't want to draft this deck again, but I opened this card, I probably should, you know, and that seems to happen. But Sealed is just always different, and I've actually come to really enjoy it. So currently that's probably my favorite, but I do like Commander a lot and just different multiplayer games. In the old days I liked Legacy. I mean, now of course it's very expensive to buy into that, and I don't have those cards necessarily to build decks like I used to. So yeah, it kind of is what it is there, but that was a fun format too. Sifter Worm, Shafet Dunes, Torment of Scarabs. Our rare is a God Pharaoh's Gift. There you go. All right. Cranked EDH asks, do you attend any events? And if you're going to in the future, can you let us know so that people can come and maybe game with you? Yes, I hopefully will. I would have liked to have gone to like GP Vegas. I know everyone was there, but that just seemed like it would be a lot of fun. And if there is a big event coming up, whether it's a GP or Star City Games Open or something that I can make it to, I'll definitely let y'all know. I'd like to meet some of you. I mean, I go to small events, but I don't assume anyone knows me, so I don't really usually say anything to anyone, but maybe someone will recognize my voice at some point. I don't know. So, but definitely I'll let you know if I'm going to something more major for sure, and eventually I will. A lot of times it's not really my work because I do the freelance writing, so I can really do that anywhere. I can bring my computer with me as long as I have like Wi-Fi, but for the most part it's like more like family commitments and stuff that keep me from like traveling sometimes. Sifter Worm, Crook of Condemnation, Obelisk Spider, and Our Devastation, another really great board sweep that we saw played this weekend. So a really cool card. It's been a good box. Like we got what, 3 mythics, and we got Nicol Bolas. I mean, that's, if you get Nicol Bolas, pretty much a good box. Now, since this is the 10K celebration, would it be cool to open something crazy, like a crazy foil or an invocation? Sure, but you know, that probably won't happen. Anyway, all right, let's move on to Mr. Variant, another big supporter of us. What was your most original way to win or surprise loss? I like the question. I'll do surprise loss first because I feel like I can think of a lot of those. I play a lot of like Vintage Cube on MTGO whenever they offer it, and if you ever played that format, I mean, losses come out of nowhere, right? Like I feel like every deck is kind of like, it's a fair game of Magic, but each one of you has this like turn 1 combo in your deck, and if you happen to hit it, like you win the game. So that's the feeling I get from that format, but it's fun. Like I like you're trying to beat the clock is what it feels like. You're trying to beat your opponent before they get their really crazy combo, and many times I've almost won, and then someone pulls out the Tinker combo, right, or the Splinter Twin combo, or just something like that. And in fact, I had a great deck the last time I played Vintage Cube, which was, I think, the last day they offered it. I wanted to play it like one more time, and I built a great ramp deck. I was really excited about it. And because it was a league, all 3 matchups were Reanimation, which of course was like the worst matchup for that particular deck. And I just couldn't believe it. I squeaked out a win for one of them, but I couldn't do it 2 more times. So I ended up going 1-2, which was actually the worst record I had during the entire last Vintage Cube. I was consistently going 2-1, which I think is pretty good for Vintage Cube. So I'll have to do some gameplay in the future with that, because I think that would be really fun. Manticore Eternal, Dagger of the Worthy, Liliana's Defeat, and another Fraying Sanity. That's not bad. That's good pulls. So even our duplicates are like good in this box. So, secondly, I guess a surprise win or an original win. I used to really like playing Fruity Pebbles combo. You can still kind of play that in Commander, and it can work. But basically, what that is enduring renewal and a 0 casting cost creature like an Ornithopter, Astronaut's Altar, and like a Fireball. And basically, you can burn the whole table out. I used to like stuff like that, especially when you could ramp into it quickly. Now, my opponents don't always like stuff like that, but it depends on your play group. But I really like that kind of combo and that style of win. I just thought it was kind of fun to try to piece together. Gideon's Defeat. Jace's Defeat. There you go. Claim to Fame. And a Chaos Maw. A good card for limited. Oh, we got ourselves a foil island. Not a full art one, but that's okay. We got the same island behind it. Full art foils in the set actually look pretty amazing. We got one in our... I think we got one in our fat pack, right? All right, next question comes to us from Duncan Park. Do you follow your own investment advice? And if so, to what extent? That's a great question. I really like that question, actually. I do, but I'll be honest, I'm not really in the market to buy stuff right now. So I'm not necessarily buying cards. So when I do all the finance videos, I'm talking about this card's going up in value, maybe a good time to pick it up. Sometimes this is like my wishful thinking. Like I would love to have picked up a Ollie from Cairo a few weeks ago when they were like down around $50. Like I would have loved to have done that, but I'm just not in the market to buy cards right now. Selling though, yes. If I have cards, typically what I do is I open these cards for the channel for you guys to watch. Then what I'll do is I'll play with them. I'll play like limited with them, sealed or draft. And then I throw them in a box somewhere. And once it looks like maybe a good time to sell them, I'll sell the key ones to put back into the channel. So that helps, just knowing the timing of when that's a good thing to do. But just in general, I always enjoyed kind of that sub game of card values and stuff like that, not just for Magic but even for sports cards, comic books. Like I always thought that was a really interesting thing to follow and watch, and I guess it just kind of is just a almost like side hobby for me because I like the economics behind it. So yeah, if I were to actually like spend my money and buy stuff other than cards that I would need to play with, of course, I would probably buy reserve list stuff just because that's the only thing I'm really confident in. Anything, especially more recent stuff, it's just printed too highly. Think of the comic book market or the sports card market in the late 80s, early 90s. They printed too much. None of that stuff's really worth anything, and that's kind of where we are right now for Magic. So, you know, I don't like the word investment because I think it gives the wrong idea. I mean, typically, if you listen to my marketing videos, when I talk about card values, I really talk more about like, this is a good time to buy the card if you're looking to pick a copy up for your Commander deck or for your Modern deck. I'm not really thinking about long term just because I think at any given time they could reprint a bunch of stuff and the bottom could fall out, and I don't think that's something I want to recommend anyone doing. So I'm careful about that. But yeah, long story short, yeah, I do definitely, but more so for sales than anything else. Chandra's Defeat, Inferno Jet, a Vizier of the True, and a Crested Sunmare is our 4th mythic. Nice. This is a card I actually really wanted. I want to try this out in a casual game. Maybe a little Commander action with that at some point. So that'd be cool. All right, we're kind of getting down there. I'll make sure I'm... oh, okay, I'm almost out of questions. Good. So I'm almost out of packs, too. What's your opinion in the cardstock quality and bending issue? What do you think is it positive for the game to have flimsy cards? And also, don't you think the quality of foils have dwindled in time? This is from Manuel Valera. Yeah, I did a video, I don't know, by the time I post this, it might be a few days ago. But I did a video where I talked about this in the last podcast, so I won't go into crazy detail, but long story short, yeah, that's bad. You don't want to spend $4 on cards and have the quality, have them warping. Like this card, I'll look at it right now. I mean, I can tell just from my experience with Magic cards, this is thinner than they used to be, right? Like this is a very thin card, and it's been like this for a little while now. They are warping due to, I mean, humidity is going to make them warp. And of course, this being right out of a pack, and I'm not in a humid area, at least not too humid out right now. So I'm not seeing a lot of warping currently, but if I leave these out, or even if I put them in a box, they're probably going to warp to some degree. I mean, I could probably throw them in pages and straighten them out, and if I use some of the like silicone packs and stuff like that, maybe that helps. But you shouldn't have to go through all that. I mean, if players spend their money on bad quality, they're eventually going to get tired of it, and you don't need to lose players to that. I think Wizards realizes it's a problem. I think they're taking steps to fix it, but I think it's going to take them a little while to fix it. I kind of went into those details in my video, so definitely check that out. As far as foils go, I'll answer that in the next pack. Doomfall, Mandatory Eternal, Struggle to Survive, and Amit Eternal is our rare. As far as the foils themselves go, I think it depends. Like, I know I haven't looked real close at our Devastation foils. Maybe if I open one here, I'll look at it. But I felt like recently foils have been all right. I kind of like the darker colors that I feel like we've been getting. I don't like light foils. Like, I didn't like some of the ones like Modern Masters 2015. Like the original Zendikar had really light foils. I feel like the current foils, again, I haven't looked closely at this set, but I feel like the more recent foils have been okay. Like they've looked fine to me. But of course, I know it's also different. You do get different printers from sets. So one set you open a pack could be from somewhere else. Imaginary Threats, Bloodwater Entity, Obelisk, I'm going to stumble every time, Obelisk Spider, and Kefnet's Last Word. We do have a foil, so we can look at it. It's a Sandblast. Yeah, okay, maybe this foil's a little bit lighter than they have been. Yeah, this one's like, doesn't look super like shiny. It might just be the card though. There's a lot of black on this card. So yeah, I mean, I like them when they're darker. I like them when there's more of a contrast between kind of darker printing and like the stronger foiling. And yeah, I'm not like a foil collector or anything, so I guess that doesn't bother me that much regardless, but definitely there's a lot of players that it is important to, and again, it's another thing they got to get right. Aaron High says, what was your favorite moment while playing a game of Magic? That's a good question. I think my favorite moments come from just sort of the, like, playing real face-to-face Magic, not Magic Online, and just sort of the silliness that happens sometimes. Just when someone plays a card that they misplay it, they don't know what it does, or like someone does something crazy, or plays some card, you're like, why are they playing that? Like, those moments are the ones that stick out in my mind. Just those fun sort of like things where everyone just starts laughing. Appeal to Authority, Sunscourge Champion, Eternal of Harsh Truths, our rares, an Hour of Revelation, and we got a foil for Insanity. This is our second rare, foil rare in the box, and it's a good one for Insanity. Now this one looks a little better. This is another dark card though, but it does look a little bit better, the foiling on this particular one. So yeah, I'm trying to think of something in particular that happened that I really like kind of laughed about. It's just that kind of stuff, like those moments that you can't recreate, like, and sometimes you can't even explain them why they were funny, but like just stuff where people just kind of just have fun, like, and that's the thing that you don't get from Magic Online, which is going back to like our first question, why I think paper Magic will always have a place. And our last question is from Steven Snarf. What is your favorite part of Magic lore and why? That's an awesome one. Sunset Pyramid, Saving Grace, Vizier of the Anointed, Hollow One is our rare. And we have, looks like 4 more packs. So, to answer the question, I like old school Magic, so I probably like the old stuff the best, like Dominaria, Brothers War, Weatherlight. Like, those characters in the storyline is the one that kind of has the most nostalgia for me. I like the Time Spiral storyline. Again, I realize that's Dominaria. But I also enjoy Ravnica, like the first and second time we went to Ravnica. And I like some of the Planeswalkers stories if you go into more modern day stuff. Now, I think everyone's a little Gatewatch fatigued, myself included, them as a group. But I like the Liliana like side story. Like, I'm kind of interested in where that goes, right? And the Jace side story I'm actually kind of interested in. So I kind of want to see like the direction of where some of these characters go individually. I think that might be cool, maybe more so than the Gatewatch, but yeah, for me it probably goes back to like the Brothers War and that type of stuff, the Weatherlight crew and all that. I thought was really awesome back in the day. Sunset Pyramid, Rezikat's Right, Overcome. Hey, we got another Planeswalker, Samut the Tested. Turned out to be a great box. This is what, our 5th mythic now? This is crazy. We got the 2 Planeswalkers, we got the 2 green ones, and we got the horse. Yeah, so 5. And 2 foil rares, including the Fraying Sanity. So great celebration box. 3 packs left. I know this video's gone long, but I do want to say thank you again, everybody who has supported us. 10,000 subscribers is insane. So thank you for leaving your questions and just supporting the channel. Just by watching our videos is enough for me. I mean, yeah, I know I always try to plug the other stuff because it is important for us to improve, but at the same time, just watching the videos just goes so far. Helping people find the channel goes a long way. Thank you all for everything you've done. We have a Bloodwater Entity, Devotee of Strength, If Near Deadlands, and a Pride Sovereign. 2 more packs. Where's that? Or 3 more packs. Oh, there. I'm surprised there. I thought it was 10. I said 4 last time, right? So yeah, but I really appreciate what everyone's done to make the channel as big as it is and continues to grow. Thank you. I can't say that enough to all of you. Really, and of course I had the thank you video where I went into a lot of detail, but again, thanks for everything. This has been a great celebration, great box to open for sure. Steward of Solidarity, Devotee of Strength, Dunes of the Dead, and our rare is a Hazaret's Undying Fury. This is the first one of those we opened. We opened one in our fat pack, and I opened with the foil and the regular what's the name of the card? Now I forgot. Is it a Doom card? Is it? It's not Indomitable. What is it? I can't think of it. Oh, I'm sure I'll open it now in this pack. Now I'm talking about it. But like the card that I was the hardest on, of course, in the set review, we opened a foil and a regular in the fat pack. Steward of Solidarity, Supreme Will, Burning Fist Minotaur. Our rare is an Adorned Pouncer. That's actually a sweet card. I really like that card. I like the cats anyway, but I think that's a cool, it feels like it has a nice power level behind it, even if it is just for casual stuff. Alright, last pack. Again, thanks for sticking with me for the video. This is really meant to be a long video because I was answering the questions. I am going to open another box later in the week. I'll do it in fast fashion. It won't be like this one. And I also have a couple pre-release kits I'm going to open and do some deck techs for sealed with them too coming up. Alright, we have an Appeal to Authority. We have Nissa's Defeat. We have Sand Strangler. Our rare is a Ramanep Hydra. And we get a foil too. Maraudering, there we go, Bone Slasher. And that is the box. Fantastic box. And again, hey, I'll try to wrap it up quick because this has gone a while. Thanks for your questions. Thanks for supporting us. 10,000, crazy. We'll do this again at 20,000. We'll open something else, of course. But until next time, hey, thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible by the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.